Hello, thank you for joining us. Welcome to another segment of Health and Wellness with tfal&chi.
Yay! I'm tfal. I'm an infectious disease physician, professor of medicine, author, podcaster, wellness coach, and other half of tfal&chi.
Yes,
Joined by
and this is
husband.
Chi. Yes, and I'm a health and wellness expert, and with focusing on mental health, nutrition, and physical exercise, and how to improve your health overall. And we're actually in Europe. Actually, we're in Portugal. Just taking some breather, just to rest a little bit, and
Rest and renew.
Rest and renew, and headed back home in a couple of days. So, today we're going to be jumping into and just talking to Tfal about her journey in the health and wellness space, and it's going to be a fun discussion today.
Yes.
Like, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends as well.
Yes.
So
share this video, join us.
Yes.
Let's chat.
Let's dig in. So, Tfal, we've always talked about, you look amazing. You've been doing a lot of work around enhancing your health and just improving your overall wellness. But today I just want people to know and understand your journey.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Absolutely.
So take us back 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 years ago. Tell me where you were.
Okay. So, very, very great question, Chi. And, 8 years ago, I was in a place where my physical health was not where it needed to be. Now, I've never been overweight. I've never had any medical issues, but my energy level, my joints, I was always tired. And when you're a busy physician like I am, and mom, and doing a lot of things, you kind of think it's all because of work. It's middle age, maybe it's perimenopause. You're tired. Everyone is tired.
Correct.
Had a lot of digestive issues, bloating, but you kind of just think of those as normal with getting older. As long as I didn't have a medical issue, everyone's tired, everyone's bloated, everyone's gassy, everyone's joints ache, so you just kind of keep going with it. And then I started to notice certain things, right, with certain things or foods or drinks that would make me feel worse. And
so
yes.
let me stop there for a minute. So you said to notice certain things. What about those manifestations? Did you notice them right after you ate something, or you did a particular exercise, or was it something that had to do with your sleep hygiene? I just want you to talk about
when I started to
when you started to tease it out, share a little bit
absolutely.
Of that.
So there's the general feeling of all of this happens to everybody, but then if you actually start to pay attention, because I just thought, is this what it is? It's going to be in your late 40s, and then it's just going to be like this forever. Started to think about what were some things that made things worse, right?
Sure.
And I realized that what I ate really played much into how I felt, but also into how I slept, and that would affect my energy level the next day.
Correct.
So certain foods. So for me, alcohol became something that if I had even one glass of red wine or something, it would make me the next morning just extremely tired. It affected my mood, and it also affected my energy level. So I noticed that. That was one.
Okay.
The other thing I noticed was that with certain foods, right, bloating, a lot of bloating, a lot of gas, and I just assumed because everyone feels that way. And joint issues,
right,
with joint aches and things like that.
Correct.
So foods, I noticed, energy levels, and then my joints.
Okay, awesome. So there was something you said about, alcohol. Is alcohol bad?
Alcohol is not bad.
Okay, I just want to...
when taken in moderation. And you also have to know your body. Like we've talked about in the blue zones, people in the Mediterranean do their red wine with their meals. But again, you have to know your body. For me, I was not able to process it. It is a carbohydrate, and it is something that your body has to break down. And it did affect my mood, and it affected my energy levels the next day. So for me, it was something that I had to. I never drank excessively, but I noticed it was affecting how I felt, and I had to eliminate that.
Sure. So there is alcohol and there is alcohol, because I just want to make sure we are able to talk about those things as well. Because there is beer, there is wine, there is hard liquor, and all those different types of alcohol impact our bodies very differently. So we have to understand that, right? So we talk about sugar in alcohol, we talk about yeast in alcohol. So an alcohol, we know, is a downer as well.
Correct.
So that would impact mood. How does that, tell me a little bit about that as well, in terms of impacting mood, making us sleepier, making us, a little bit more crankier, that kind of thing. When we perhaps do more than we should, or do more, when we do that regularly. Can you share that?
So the things that you said. So again, everyone is different, and you have to know your body. But because of it does have sugar in it. Sugar and yeast, so sometimes it will cause bloating because of the high sugar levels, and then your sugar drops. All that affects your mood, because your brain regulation on sugar, and then the sugar drops, and so you have mood swings and things like that. And alcohol is something that for a lot of people it's used to enhance their mood and things like that, but it can be a depressant. So for me, it was something that was impacting how I felt, and I noticed it, and I just had to make a choice for myself about what works for me.
Okay, awesome. And you've talked about, can you share a little bit more too about, because you've never been overweight.
Yes.
Because oftentimes we feel that when we're not, carrying excessive weight,
we're healthy.
That we're healthy. Can you talk a little, from your practice as a physician, metabolically, how our our numbers in terms of your blood sugar, your waist circumference, your triglycerides and all of that, how does that translate to the person on the outside?
Absolutely. So like you said, a lot of people make the assumption that if I'm a certain body type or weight, I'm healthy. And so, there's something we talk about in terms of what we call, skinny fat, or people who are metabolically obese. So yes, when you are overweight or obese, you have a higher likelihood, clearly shown in many studies, that the higher, when your body mass index is in the range of overweight, obesity, or morbid obese, you have a higher rate of comorbid conditions like blood pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease, stroke. They're all of those things. The converse, though, is that when your body mass index is normal, does not mean that you don't have those things, right? I actually had high cholesterol even though I had a normal body weight. So it's important to know your numbers and not make any assumptions about your health just based on your weight.
But I'm not going to let you just go real quickly there to the next topic. I just wanted to share real quickly. You had high cholesterol.
Yes.
How did you mitigate that? Because I want people watching us on this channel to understand what they can do.
Correct.
To mitigate the situation.
Absolutely. So two things I'll share on that is, one, that even though my body mass index was normal, I did stay, and it's important for everyone, making sure we talk about getting your numbers checked, because my number was off. My cholesterol out of all my numbers was off. And so I had to really work on my nutrition, right? Because it was a lot of stuff where by increasing your physical activity and also looking at the kind of food I was eating in terms of high fat content foods, and how to use things like good fats, right? Fats are good for us, for our body. Olive oil, avocado, things that are healthy fats, and substituting that, where I could actually get my numbers back to normal without any medications, right? And when you work out and when you exercise your body, yes, your body weight might actually still be the same, but you're redistributing things, you're building muscle, you're changing your metabolic pathways. So I was able to do that without medication.
That's perfect. That's what I'm so glad you shared that, because the idea of redistributing body fat is so very important. Because oftentimes, when we work with a lot of our clients, we hear things like, I'm still the same weight, but I look different, or my clothes feel a lot differently. It's because fat gets redistributed, fat gets to exit your body or our bodies, and the ones that stay, fat is a good thing.
Yes, we all need it.
We all need fat in our bodies. It's just how much fat
and where it is.
And where it is.
Yes.
Where it is.
Really, because, and that's why we talk about, your waist circumference as such a big predictor of your overall health.
Sure.
Because if you have fat in here, it means it's been stored in the liver and around the organs and the liver is where insulin regulation happens, fat regulation happens. So where it is matters. But as you're redistributing, you're building lean muscle. That's and lean muscle burns calories. But the point you made about, at least for a lot of us as women, we kind of think about, I need to lose weight. And it was all about, when we think about our health, about our internal, how our numbers are doing, how our organs are doing. And then the weight falls off when you start to do certain things.
So it's just a byproduct of, us taking care of ourselves. When we exercise, when we go for walks, do yoga, dance,
jump rope,
anything that actually elevates your heart rate some, makes you sweat and makes you exhale, because we exhale fat from our mouth, we excrete fat from our skin when we sweat, right? So
and joints
and your joints, and you're talking about joints, and so the idea is not so the primary thing is not, albeit losing weight is a good thing to stay lean, but the object of a health and wellness regimen should not ultimately to lose weight, but to be the very best, feel the very best, and keep your numbers within the normal range.
Absolutely.
And when that happens, the weight will come off. The object for losing weight only comes in when we hit that morbidly or obese range, where we know that carrying excess weight is a big problem. Because oftentimes, people shy away whenever we hear, I need to lose weight. You will lose weight if you're eating healthy, if you're exercising, keeping your numbers within the normal range. You will get to where your body needs to be and feel your very best. Is that correct?
Absolutely. But then it's a lifestyle.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, we're looking for quick fixes. I need to do this in a short time. When we think about how much we gain by living a healthy lifestyle, then it becomes less about the scale.
Exactly.
Because the scale will happen. But your energy level, I can tell that for myself, 52 in 2 months, I've never had this much energy.
Right.
Energy to do anything, right? My joints don't hurt anymore. I actually thought I would need, I couldn't understand what was going on, but there were certain foods that were triggering. I would eat certain things with very high levels of wheat and things, and my joints would get all crackly, and my knees and all that. Now I can do a lot of things without necessarily, it's amazing.
I remember helping you up, and your knees, I would hear your knees crack. Yes. And it just remembering just that whole journey of how all of a sudden that went away.
Completely.
Would it change in just your health and wellness regimen?
Absolutely.
The lifestyle that you mentioned. So, because when it's a lifestyle, there is no thought put into what you're doing in terms of, you don't have to do math to eat your food, right? It just comes naturally. Second nature.
Those are the things we teach, and knowing that it's second nature, it takes time, and you need to be consistent. But it's not deprivation. It's not restriction. It's not, I'm doing this now so I can go back and do this. It becomes a way of life. And that's why, when you have energy and when you're sleeping better, because all of those things are tracking. When you're sleeping better, you're hitting the ground running, you're able to exercise better, you're making better choices around what you eat, you're drinking a lot of water. It's all tied in.
It's all tied in.
It's all tied in. Yes. And I mean, the skin is glowing, and we tell our clients, don't focus on the scale.
Right.
How are you feeling? How are your clothes fitting? How's your energy? How's your skin? How's your mood?
How's your mood?
Those are all things that get better when you're living a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
I'm testament to that.
Yes, because what we eat, how we move, impacts exactly our mood, right? Our sleep hygiene, all of that. We'll be talking about sleep hygiene on another segment. But, we have about a couple of minutes to wrap this segment up. But going back to your joints, we know that, every pound of weight is about 4 pounds of pressure on our joints and our knees, right? And that's why we begin to see across the board, across entire populations, you begin to see lots of knee replacements, spinal fusions, laminectomies, and things like that, because so much more pressure has been added to our different joints, because they were carrying, we're carrying excess weight when our numbers are not where they need to be. So I'm really excited about, the idea of how you were able to change your trajectory in terms of remove, your joints not being achy anymore, being able to jump, being able to, skip,
do all those major
things.
squats.
Your energy, you have more energy for, traveling, spending time with our kids, spending time with your spouse, all of that. That's huge,
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment.
Yeah, it is.
It's a commitment.
So
before we wrap up here, because we're going to come back with another segment of sleep hygiene, we're going to do different segments so you can pick different things that, resonate with you. 3 to 5 takeaways about how the changes you've made in your life has made you the best tfal you are today.
The best tfal.
Yeah.
3 to 5. Okay. 1 is that just commit to starting. If you identify that you can be a healthier version of you, commit to starting. That's number 1. Okay. 2 is that it's a lifestyle. It's not a quick fix. It's not a time bound. It's a way of life that you will enjoy that keeps you healthy. So stay committed, and discipline is what's going to get you through. On some days, you're not going to be motivated to work out and all that, but staying disciplined. The third is that the scale is just a byproduct of a healthy lifestyle, whatever numbers you're trying to get to on the scale, and focus on other things that start to change in a short time with how your digestive system is going. We didn't even talk about that. We can do a whole episode on that. I think it's important. People think bloating is normal. It's not. So focusing on things that change right away, your energy level, your sleep, your mood, your GI stuff, and focusing on those and celebrating those, really important. And the last part of, I would say, is that just know that everything that you do for yourself, your body will appreciate. Every time you choose to drink more water, pick a vegetable, eat a fruit, all of those things, your cells are happy and they thank you for it.
That's right.
Those are some of my takeaways.
Thank you for sharing those. So remember, before you start a regimen, consult with your physician, just to make sure you understand where you're headed and you're safe. Be kind to yourself, be patient, show love to yourself and those around you. If you love this segment, subscribe, like, share with your friends, and we're going to be, sharing a lot more segments like this with you in the very near future. We're in Lisbon, heading back to the States in a few days, and I'm excited to be here. Right, tfal?
Right, absolutely.
All right. See you again, tfal&chi.